Briny points there if you spotted the other Kaiju. Hold on, over there, yay! This is a very, very, very bizarre cult rare gem of 3 minutes. The title won't say it all, but this had to be included. Okay, Jaguar, quite possibly the worst thing to Godzilla, in my opinion. Originally, it appears in one film, Godzilla vs. Megalon, and just finish from effectively, this pretty much was an introduction to the giant Sentai genre, which pretty much spawned out of the Kaiju genre. Which we'll mention Ultraman when we get down the line. Effectively, Jaguar only exists because Toho did a competition with school kids to design, a character. Effectively, this one apparently is supposed to contain the essence of Ultraman, Mazinger, and I don't really care. I want to know what possible other influence that kid had. Well, I believe it might be LSD? It's kind of entirely sure. And you'll see Mystery Science Theater 3000's answer to the Jaguar song, as he had his own theme song at the end of the movie. Right, here we have other Toho films, monsters. Ignore Gamera. But obviously the ones in here to look out for is Mothra, which is a giant moth, or in other films, but it does like Paris for some reason. It must be the silk. Geigan, good one. Rodan, like a big giant bird. Pterodactyl, this little cheeky one here. And obviously the most famous bad guy in all the Godzilla films has to be the 3-headed monster Zero, or Ghidorah, which you can see. There it is. Yeah. Bottom. And these are effectively the majority of these have all appeared in all the Godzilla films, but they chucked in a couple of Gamera ones in there to throw you off. Anyway, but moving on from Godzilla, because I can have easily done this about Godzilla, and that wouldn't benefit anyone, but my ego. Gamera, yay! It's a giant turtle from space with jet things and awesomeness. Come on, it's a giant turtle. You know? It can go at Mach 3. It's a giant turtle that can go at Mach 3. Pretty much cameras, if you have Godzilla at the top of the list, literally coming in close second is Gamera. Not been in this many films, but it's in double digits. Obviously, like the second ones there, I have the first one. It's a must-see B-movie classic, 1965. But these four films here, which pretty much follow each other, is this kind of quartet of these new Gamera films. And personally, number 2 is just is effectively Michael Bay, this Gamera. There's so many explosions in that film. You go blind. To explain Gamera is pretty much like explaining, something, and when you explain it, you can go, it doesn't make sense because I'm talking about a giant turtle that flies from outer space, and it's the friend of all children. It's hard. As I mentioned before, there's this kind of like Super Sentai thing. Now, there's an entire genre of this. I mean, I'm sure you're all familiar with Power Rangers, possibly Masked Rider or Kamen Rider. But pretty much, Ultraman did it all differently by pretty much having one guy who then grows to like a giant status to fight the monsters, which are giants around cardboard box sets. It started in 1965 in Ultra Q, and there's some numerous stats there, like this whole planet that I'm light. Fly a Mach 5, take that camera. And hey, I mean, come on, you can swim at 200 knots, that's fairly impressive. And you can jump 800 meters. Bullshit stats, but still. At the end of the day, Ultraman has been around in many different forms. I think there's like an Ultraman 80s or something random, and there's, but the most recent stuff that happened was they did a film called Ultraman The Next, which is effectively an anniversary project to kind of inject new life and pretty much respect to the older fans who now really were kids watching this, because this was all kid TV show stuff. And obviously, Ultraman The Next was kind of like a serious film. But sadly, it's hard to do a serious film when it's like, I'm a giant man from an alien planet that can fly like 5 and swim 200 knots. But what can I say? The movie, sadly, barely any of these ever get released in the UK. The only kind of films I've seen on DVD is the first Godzilla. And ADV released the 3 Gamera films. Everything else is hard to find in VHS or bootlegs, or you can get DVDs from abroad, from Japan or America. Ultraman is one of the really, really hard ones to get. I think they only started releasing the series in America last year, I believe. I mean, he had the film The Next, and after The Next, they decided to put in a new TV show called Ultraman Nexus, which was following on from the Ultraman Nebus Brothers or something like that. There's so many of them. And it was a more adult take on it, even though it had combining vehicles and lots of big toys, which are heavy market to children. Even though I'm pretty sure there's some guy in this room at night going, you know, Ultraman, which is small. But then again, anyway, some more kids, yay!